So we are learning how to write linear equations, and today we are writing a linear equation given a graph. So the information that you can get from a graph of a line is two perfect points, right? And then you can also find your y-intercept and your slope. So we are going to write the equation in slope-intercept form. Takes the form of y equals mx plus b. Where m represents slope and b represents y-intercept. So we have an example. We're going to find the equation from this example. Determine the linear equation of the graph. Step 1, calculate the slope by using rise over run. So remember, it's m equals rise over run. Step 2, identify the y-intercept. Once you find both of those pieces, you substitute in m and b into the equation. So what I'm going to want you to do is find your y-intercept and then find another perfect point to find those things. So let's see. Let's find some perfect points. It looks like -4 is our y-intercept. So go ahead and make that into a dot. Something you have to be careful of is that it goes exactly through that point and it doesn't go a little above or a little below, but make sure it actually goes through that point. And see if we can find some other perfect points. So I'm going to go ahead and put a dot on all the perfect points that I think I have. And if it's inconsistent, like if it's going by more rise and run each time, then you did something wrong. You want to have the same slope between 2 points. So if we look at it, we can go ahead and write on the graph b equals -4. And then m, the rise is 1, 2, and the run is 1. So it's 2 over 1 or just 2. And see how it's 2 over 1 between each 2 points? And it's a positive slope, so don't forget positive or negative. So that is a positive. So now we're going to substitute in mx plus b. So m is 2, so it's 2x plus a -4. Or I could just write -4. And what I want you to do is use the calculator to check. To check the graph. So get a calculator if you don't have one at your desk. So in order to graph this, remember you're going to go to y equals, plug it in. 2, and then don't forget this is where the x is. X minus 4. Use minus and not negative. So there's a difference between negative and minus. And then hit graph. And you're going to check and just make sure that they look the same. So important things that you could check is your x-intercept. Hit trace. Yeah, did y'all see how I hit trace and it goes exactly to your y-intercept? 0, -4, which is right there. And then arrow to the right. And then our x-intercept is, says 1.96, but what would that round to? 2. And then what about negative 0.0606061? Just 0. So our calculator doesn't automatically jump to that point. It's close to the x-intercept, so we just need to know that we would round that. We could also look at the table, so second table, or second graph, and double check that our x-intercept is at 2, 0. So look, there's 2, 0. We're good. So we did it correctly. All right, now we're going to do examples 1 and 2. So I'm going to pause the video so that you can do this on your own, and then we'll go over and check the answer. So let's look at how y'all did. So finding some points. So let's see. Looks like our x-intercept's at -3. Our y-intercept's at -2. And then I can find a few more points. Does that follow like the same consistent pattern? Yeah. So let's find our slope. Rise over run. So let's see. 1, 2. So down 2. So it's a -2 over 1, 2, 3. And it follows that same pattern. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So M is -2 over 3. And then B, what's our y-intercept? Where is it at? 2. -2. So we would write our equation, y equals -2 over 3x minus 2. So as I was walking around, I saw a lot of people without that negative. Just remember, if you're going down and right, it's a negative slope. Think about slope, dude. Puff, puff, positive. Write this down. Nice, nice, negative. 0, fun. That's a horizontal line, by the way. That's hoy. And undefined. That's vux. There it is. Make sure you have this so you can remember. So positive from left to right, negative from left to right. 0 is just a horizontal line. It's hoy. Undefined, if he's fallen off the cliff, that's vux. Anytime it's x equals a number, that's vux. All right, let's look at example 2. Let's see. We have a y-intercept right here. This almost looks like a point, right? But it's not. It's one more up. So be really careful when you're picking your perfect points. Looks like I only have 3 perfect points on this one. So what's our y-intercept? 1. And then our slope, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Is this a positive or a negative slope? Positive. So M equals 4 over 3. So y equals 4 over 3x plus 1. I hope you're checking these with your calculator. So let's go ahead and do that together. So remember, you can do your fraction. I'm going to go back to number 1. Do alpha y equals, for a fraction, -2 over 3 x minus 2. Did some of y'all figure out that the slope was wrong by graphing it? Yeah, hopefully that helps. All right, so you graph it. Notice that it's going downhill. We have an x-intercept at +3 right there. The y-intercept at -2. When you hit trace, you can see that. So it's right. And then go back over here. Let's change this. to 4 over 3x plus 1. You can always just clear it out or you can change it. Then hit graph. It's a positive slope, has a y-intercept of 1. And it looks pretty good. All right, so we're going to glue this in our journal. I'm going to pass out your assignment that you're going to work on. So let's look at your assignment for right now. It says graphing and writing equations from graphs. So this first part is just graphing the line for each equation and labeling each line. So you're going to write your slope and y-intercept. You're going to graph it. The second page is for each graph, write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. So we have a table over here. So you look at number 1, you find your slope and y-intercept. You can write it over here, but also write it over here and write your equation for each one. Okay, so there's 6 of those. And then the back, 7 and 8. We need to estimate what our y-intercept will be. And then in this box, we're going to do something special to find out what the exact y-intercept is. But we're not going to do that right now. And then 8 and 10 are special types of lines. What kind of line is this? It's a straight up and down line. Undefined. So we're going to use VUX. Vertical line, undefined slope. Are we going to have a y? Well, it does have a y-intercept here. But our equation is going to be written as x equals some number. Okay, and then 10, what kind of line is this? The 0 line. So it's going to be HOI. So our equation is going to be written as y equals a number. All right, so you're going to work through this. Y'all can help each other at your table. Remember 7 and 9, you're going to estimate your y-intercept. Leave this box blank.